Now, the next question I would like to have you answer has to do with worldviews. Now, you have a worldview that is centered around Christ, the kingdom of God. And from the way you're dressed, it seems as if you are portraying a different worldview. Now, can you give us a sense of how you integrate these two worldviews, and then at the same time you are able to make sense to the people you are reaching out to and the community from which you are reaching out to them? That's the Christian community. How are you able to integrate all of this and make impact in the lives of the people?
Oh, thank you once again for that question. I would have to go a little bit back into the history of hip hop, because how I dress mostly is from a culture, and that culture is called hip hop, which researchers say is the most influential culture right now present on the earth. One of the MTV leaders said they were interviewing him, and he said they told him that you influence a lot of people. He said, we don't influence them, we own them. We tell them what to wear, how to dress, and all that. And we do them by music, celebrities, and all that. So there's mainstream hip hop, and there's the hip hop that is everywhere, that has been hijacked by executives who are drug dealers and major crime, that they hide those things under music and they use it to do that. So I dress and affiliate with the underground hip hop, which is a whole culture of its own. So the culture of hip hop has 4 elements, which is DJing, which has to do with cutting, mixing, and all that, scratching, and it also has to do with b-boy dancing, which is movement, it's just bodily movement. It also has to do with MCing. MCing is like divine speech, uttering in poetry, and then it has to do with also graffiti, which is just designing on walls and all that. So when you go to Genesis 1, you see all that displayed. God came and there was emptiness, void, and formlessness, and the Spirit of God moved upon the waters. So that movement is actually affiliated with every living thing. Every living thing moves. So b-boy dance is just movement of the body in strategic ways. So God was strategic as he moved. Then there was MCing, which is divine speech. God spoke. And then once it happened, something started happening. There was cutting, scratching, mixing. That's why when God created man, instead of giving me a chair, he gave me a tree so that man can cut, scratch, and bring out a chair. So that happened. And then the next part was that graffiti started happening. God took that void and formlessness and replaced it with a beautiful form. So he started designing it. That's why people say God is the first missionary, because it's evidence. Even if you're an atheist, you can see all around the changing seasons, the beautiful forms that nobody planted there. So those 4 elements of hip hop. So I said hip hop was just discovered as a powerful tool. It was God's essence of expression of life, that is hip hop. So now it moves further to streetwear. Streetwear is making use of the common things around you to be able to wear clothes. Now, in old hip hop, you don't dress to seduce. If you see even women, they wear big clothes and all that. You cover your body properly, and inscribe things to be able to express, because fashion goes beyond covering nakedness, but also expressing something, So God clothed man in the first place, so that is a streetwear, and God used what was around, the leaves, So it was a powerful tool that was founded by the 1970s by the hip hop founders, which I don't want to go into their names. But after founding this thing, executives saw how much it started influencing, and it was based on love, unity, and safely having fun. That was the principle of hip hop, basically. But when it started to grow in influence, people hijacked that thing and started pumping in drugs. So from the worldview, I don't believe that the devil creates anything. He adulterates what is created. If you check the history and even the Bible is poetic in its form and it's based on divine speech. So I can argue that God is a hip hopper because the first word he expressed himself is I am that I am. That's the first line. So rap is just a part of hip hop, but it's rhythm and poetry. So because people don't understand it, and the devil now understands the power, he now hijacks it and uses it. So I dress like that to be able to reach out to these people because these people embrace this culture. And for me, I don't find it as it's not bad because the devil didn't create it. But I also wish to educate the church so that we can take advantage of this culture. Just like a person ministering to Muslims, he dresses in a particular way. It does not mean that he's compromising his values to be able to reach out to them. It's just that it's a whole culture that you need to maximize so that you can come to the plain level where you can relate with them. But in and itself, is it bad dressing like that? I do not think it is bad. So that's fine. Conclusion.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. So, how has your journey been? What has it been like doing this, in quotes, ministry that is unusual, is not normal? How has your journey been with respect to how the church views what you're doing, and then the people you're reaching out to? What's the level of acceptability with respect to what you're doing?
The people in the streets, they embrace me wholeheartedly.
Wow.
They call me OG. OG is strategically crafted because when they call you OG on the streets, that means you've been there, you've seen it, and you've done that. And now you've come to a place where you're respected, basically. So they honor me, they embrace me. I used to go there with my braids to my back. So once they see you with braids and all that, they don't think twice. They don't look at you twice. But if they see you dressed in a particular way, they will scrutinize you because one, it's a hideout. Two, there are many security elements that come there undercover. So, but once they see me with braids, and a lot of them have heard about me, so when I come there, they're like, "Oh, that's OG," and all he does is to try to help our own brothers to be able to come out of this life because I've worked there for about 3 years now, and we have had success in the sense that we have had second, third generation of missionaries that have been delivered and are still transforming, have become prayer warriors, holding daily prayers in their communities, and they are now reaching out to their own communities. Like the outreaches we do called Jesus to the Streets. If I say Jesus to the Streets is happening this weekend, I don't have to be there. It can happen in different communities without me being there because they have been trained. They understand that for the kingdom of God is a solution to every problems. So if they want to see God's kingdom, they have to begin to plant those seeds and see the critical mass grow out of there who will represent God's values. And then to the church. Here, of course, the church, some people see me as crazy. Some people do not understand, which is understandable. Once you're a pioneer or a pace setter, it's like that. People always, it's history. It's there in history. People always see you like, you don't really, because you see beyond the normal. You see what could be instead of what is. So sometimes it's difficult to bring back, but also kindly, a lot of people, ministers have also understood what I do, and they have been gracious to me. They have tried to understand me, and some of them even support what we do graciously. I remember a conference I came with my dreads, and everybody was just looking like, what is this man of the world doing in this event, but by the time they gave me a chance and then we spoke and some of the disciples we came with were able to share their testimonies, everybody was just collecting my number because they knew that this problem is in every community. And except we find a way to infiltrate and be able to plant the kingdom of God, which the way we do church today cannot be able to penetrate that place. Because churches go there, they try to, but you need follow-up consistency and you need to become like and remain like to be effective there. So they need to trust you. They need to open up to you. You can't just, some of them go to churches, but it's just that they don't relate with the message there. So God is helping us to be those kind of missionaries that can relate with them and help grow them to become responsible people in their society.
Thank you for joining us in today's episode of Verity Talks. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. See you again on the next episode of Verity Talks. Thank you and God bless.